This news update is brought to you by This is the Noon Barbados Today update for Thursday, September 11th, 2014. I'm Dawn Paris. Thanks for joining us. Barbados records its 20th murder so far this year. This after Nepaul Trotman of Fitzvillage, St. James, died last night at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, where he was being treated for gunshot injuries he sustained earlier in the day. Trotman was on the beach in the same Fitzvillage area around 11 a.m. when an unknown assailant shot him. Police investigations are continuing. Government has pledged to fight any unfair impositions on Barbados' international financial sector. Prime Minister Freundel Stuart laid down the gauntlet this morning at the opening of an international forum on IFCS at the Hilton Barbados Resort. Emmanuel Joseph is there and he filed this report.
In acknowledging how quickly global standards change, Prime Minister Stuart said Barbados would commit to observing and implementing them. However, he cautioned that his government will spare no effort to ensure that such standards are fair and beneficial to international financial centers like that of Barbados. In defending this country as a well-regulated and quality financial center, he dismissed the notion by some that these jurisdictions are tax havens or sunny places for shady people. Stuart lamented that in every area of economic endeavor where countries like Barbados have managed through a spirit of hard work and independence to perform as well as or better than developed states, the playing field ceases to be level and new and creative obstacles are placed in their way. This morning's forum was also addressed by Central Bank Governor Dr. Delisle Worrell. Emmanuel Joseph reporting from Hilton Barbados Resort for Barbados Today.
Thank you, Emmanuel. In other news, the local tourism industry is still struggling to post real growth. The latest figures on long-stay arrivals up to August 30th show overall flat growth with a minimal increase of 0.7% over the same period last year. However, industry officials are pinning their hopes of a turnaround on increased airlift to the island in the coming months. Executive Vice President of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Sue Springer, says the island has been reaping much success with international carriers.
Air Canada Rouge Barbados to Toronto route will revert to Air Canada mainstream from the 1st of October. In addition, Air Canada will introduce a 777 on the route from the 1st of December through April. Celebrating Air Canada's 65th anniversary of service to Barbados in December, and we will have one of the key people from Air Canada here with us at our next quarterly meeting. JetBlue has placed their newest aircraft, A321, with 130 seats on the route for Barbados. An additional flight utilizing an A320 with 130 seats will operate from mid-June onwards. They had actually originally done it just for a small period during the summer and crop over period, but they are now retaining that flight. And in fact, even though we said goodbye to American Airlines after so many years, we're now in the position of having more actual seats from the tri-state area than we have ever had.
Meantime, the country's Film and Video Association is pushing ahead with plans to make the sector more viable. Association President Lynette Eastman is banking on pending legislation to propel the sector into the international spotlight by attracting more overseas filmmakers to film and establish studios here. A film commissioner will also soon be appointed to promote Barbados as a film destination in the same way the country is being marketed by the Tourism Authority as a tourist destination.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Catch the sun power.
Regional League Guyana officials are trying to find out who built a 60-foot-long submarine which was found in one of the country's swamps. The local drug enforcement agency, CANU, believes the semi-submersible vessel, which can accommodate 5 people, was built to ship up to 6 tons of cocaine across the Atlantic to Europe and Africa. Officials also believe that the 8-foot deep submarine was built in Guyana with imported material.
At the camp, it was discovered materials, other information that everything was imported. Just the food stuff was local, but the fuel, the fiberglass material, everything was imported from another country here and constructed from scratch.
On the international scene, Oscar Pistorius is not guilty of murdering his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp intentionally. The judge today delivered a partial verdict, saying that evidence suggests that Pistorius genuinely believed that his girlfriend was an intruder.
The state clearly has not proved beyond reasonable doubt that the accused is guilty of premeditated murder. It follows that the accused erroneous belief that his life was in danger excludes dolus. The accused therefore cannot be found guilty of murder dolus eventualis. That, however, is not the end of the matter, as culpable homicide is a competent verdict.
The trial has been adjourned until tomorrow, when the Olympian will hear verdicts on 3 other charges, including culpable homicide. Meantime, in the United States, the thousands of people who lost their lives in the 9/11 attacks were being remembered today. Today marks 13 years since the deadly Twin Tower attack. And that's where we end our Noon Barbados Today update. We'll be back again at 6 this evening. Until then, you can log on to www.barbadostoday.tv, subscribe to our e-paper and our email updates, and of course, like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. To get all the latest news and sports, I'm Don Paris. Have a safe and productive day.
This news update is brought to you by